Welcome back to Newswire. I'm Katrina Zish in for Bianca Della Garza. World leaders meeting in Paris today for a crucial summit on Ukraine and to lay the groundwork for long-term security guarantees. The meeting comes as the U.S. announced Tuesday it had brokered a truce between Russia and Ukraine in the Black Sea. Joining me now, Executive Director, Polaris National Security, former State Department Special Advisor Gabriel Nerona, foreign policy expert Harley Lippman with us as well. Welcome to both of you, gentlemen. Harley, I'm going to start with you here. I want to start with the Black Sea pause there. Right after that was brokered between President Trump and President Putin, overnight Russia continued its attacks. Where do you think this is leading in terms of a ceasefire? It seems like Putin is trying to push the boundaries, and I say that euphemistically.
You actually said it quite well. He is trying to push the boundaries. The United States is going to find out that he's an extremely tough negotiator. He's not flexible. He wants what he wants. He ultimately wants all of Ukraine. And this is troubled waters. I mean, I so admire our president for tackling one of the most challenging issues in the world and trying to create peace, but it's going to be really tough going. If he could pull this off, it'll be extraordinary.
Gabriel, I want to get your thoughts on that meeting in Paris today. European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen said that the coalition got bigger, stronger, and very determined. But Prime Minister Starmer says Russia is playing games, as Harley was just saying, and hinted at more sanctions for Russia. Do you think that's enough?
You know, I certainly hope that sanctions would be enough if they were real. But what we've had here from Europe is 3 years of meetings, pledges, and very little to show for it. They're coming now and saying we need to do more defense spending, more munitions production. That should have been the case 3 years ago or even 11 years ago when Russia first invaded Ukraine. They're talking about spending more on defense, but their parliaments aren't actually doing it. And they're talking about sending troops to Ukraine as peacekeepers, which I fully support, but then they're coming back and sort of saying, well, this is more difficult than we thought. This is sort of a habitual pattern from Europe, and it's really unfortunate to see. We want Europe to succeed and be strong, but they're not helping themselves actually execute any of this into fruition, and that's to Ukraine's great detriment.
Yeah, Harley, there are a lot of meetings, of course, and there are a lot of promises and potential things that may happen. But at this crucial juncture, the European states, some of them now reportedly walking back their plans to put troops from NATO allies on the ground in Ukraine to secure the country against future Russian aggression. Of course, if a peace deal is eventually made, could Kyiv then be even more vulnerable to continued Russian aggression? Because as many experts like the two of you have said, Putin loves this war.
Yeah, Ukraine is in a very difficult position because with France and Britain walking back their proposal to put their troops in Ukraine, it just emboldens Russia, and it just signals what everybody's seeing, but a bit out loud, that Ukraine doesn't look as appealing to have troops in if you're France and Britain now as it used to when they were holding their own. Ukraine is retreating. There are thousands of new troops from North Korea that have entered the conflict on behalf of Russia, and they've gained invaluable military experience, these North Koreans. And they're all enemies of the United States. So there's huge challenges ahead. But at the end of the day, strength will bring peace. And that's what everybody needs to know. The United States should have a policy that they're going to go to war within 5 years with Russia and build up the military. Hopefully, and thank God that never happens. But this way we're prepared. If it doesn't happen, okay, it was extra insurance. But as we see time passing, Russia's getting more and more aggressive.
You know, interesting about that, because, again, Putin is and continues to be aggressive and more aggressive. But Gabriel, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky said, I believe just in this past day, that President Putin, quote, is going to die soon, alluding to his ongoing alleged health issues. Is that something that you think is just some posturing on the part of Zelensky, or do you think these rumors are true? And if anything were to happen to Putin, do you think whoever might replace him could be far worse?
I certainly wish it were the case that Putin would die soon. He's a tyrant, he's a despot, he's a warmonger who's invaded all sorts of countries. We have a very bad track record, however, of predicting the imminent demise of our leaders. We thought Castro was going to die for years and years. People have thought Khamenei in Iran is going to die anytime soon. So unfortunately, my sense is Putin is in better health than Zelensky wishes he were. And whoever comes after Putin is likely to be in a very similar mold. The Russian political establishment now has all believed and gone deep into this grievance narrative that they're the victims, that the world owes them more territory, even when all of Russia's faults are entirely their own fault imposed by their warmongering aggression.
All right, gentlemen, we're going to have to leave it there. Gabriel Nerona, Harley Lippman, great conversation. Thanks.
Thanks, Katrina.
Coming up, Mexican law enforcement making a serious